Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And there might be some trouble at the House of Mouse.
Kerfuffle.
A kerfuffle, yeah. Panic at the Mickey Mouse Disco. We're going to talk about Christine McCarthy, the CFO, who suddenly stepped down the other day. And there are rumors that she was fighting with Bob Iger. Lots of rumors, lots of speculation. Is this a legit medical emergency? Which it might be.
It very well could be.
But the timing is weird, and Disney is finding itself in the middle of a lot of financial questions, financial hardship, and of course, it would fall on her to explain it all. Mm-hmm. And maybe she just doesn't want to. Maybe she's like, yeah, I'm out of here, guys. I'm out. So we're gonna talk about this. And will Bob Iger actually step down now? That's because he's not even looking.
That's where I'm at. Because I'm like, we were hearing back in March, here's some potential replacements. We're not hearing anything. And now people are speculating that because they have to replace the CFO, he might get to stay longer because they have to replace two major executives now instead of just one.
Yeah, and are we going to see Nelson Peltz come back around now and be like, well, you had a plan, Bob, and now you don't.
Well, even before she got gone, he wasn't seeming to move on that. And that's just now that by getting rid of her, it extends his chance of being CEO longer.
Maybe that was the plan. Maybe this is Mickey's Game of Thrones.
I don't know. It's like the fucking soap opera, like every day with these people. What would you say? As the stomach turns.
As the stomach turns. So we're not even talking about their quick service. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
And now Geeky did not get to sit in on the announcement video talking about Christine McCarthy stepping down.
No, I wasn't home, but I did the article.
But you did do an article about it, and now we've got more news, and you're going to have to lead me through this. I don't know what is going on with this.
Okay, well, let's go out to the Wall Street Journal, because a lot of this is coming from the Wall Street Journal. So their sources are saying that Bob Iger and other top executives have been clashing with Christine McCarthy in regards to their restructuring of the company and streamlining the company. As we've heard on Disney investor calls for the last couple calls, they needed to streamline the company, cut jobs, to make it more nimble, blah, 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 blah. And apparently she didn't feel the cuts were enough. She thought with the entertainment unit, who faced most of the cuts, it needed to be cut even further to be comparable to like Netflix or whatever, and other streaming services to be, more efficient so they could have more profit margins and survive the storms ahead, which is funny because they mentioned the declining advertising rates, which we have been telling you.
Yeah. Now, for those of you who haven't been following the drama, the ad rates are they've fallen off a cliff at this point. Advertisers are not spending like they were before. And Disney was betting on that. I know with Disney Plus, they're like, hey, we're going to sell ads. I'm like, good luck with that. Because everybody's struggling right now.
Well, I remember, it might have changed since Iger came back, but when Chapek was planning to launch that, which I think launched in December, right after he was gone, but Iger was back, but it was already in play. Their rates they were asking for were apparently way higher than other streaming services.
Yeah, because they're Disney. They're Disney, right? We're worth more.
Yeah, and now we've had the upfronts recently, and and so they're probably going to look at the ad rates for this year, and they aren't what they were wanting. And now she steps down. Now, could it possibly be medical reasons? Yes, it absolutely could possibly be medical reasons because she herself has had breast cancer twice. Yep. Once in 2000, once in 2015. So she could have something come back. Her husband has been ailing for a long time. It was one of the things that Chapek tried to throw her under the bus for. He was supposedly cutting her from different business calls, important calls, saying that she was too busy tied up with her husband's medical issues and things like that, which is why she was one of the reasons why she supposedly went behind his back to the board, chairman of the board at the time, Susan Arnold, to get him removed. But he was saying she was tied up with her husband. Well, now he is in a long-term care facility, because he's ailing. So it's completely possible that health issues are at play.
But people have brought up that there have been other examples of high-ranking C-level employees using that as a cover to get out while the getting's good.
Apparently, according to this article and their sources, her coworkers were surprised that she said this choice was suddenly made. Like, apparently, as far as they knew, everything was under control.
Yeah.
So it was like came out of left field.
Yeah. So what is actually going on now? There's a lot of scuttlebutt, rumor, speculation. This is interesting. I thought Deadline, we get a lot of Hollywood people replying anonymously to these articles. And this one right here I thought was kind of interesting. I don't know if it's a Hollywood person or not, but it is correct. Christine was an actual CFO, not some yes man like so many other companies have. Salesforce has a lawyer as a CFO.
Oh, surprisingly.
If she was butting heads, it was over finances and or integrity. Let's see if the SEC gets involved.
Interestingly enough, we have talked about this at length. Sandy Cuba, who kept reporting discrepancies in their accounting software to the higher up, which at the time she would have been
privy to. Yeah.
Yes. And then Cuba gets fired under, weird accusations that didn't make sense. She sued. She got a settlement and basically beat Disney.
Yeah, that's about the only way you can beat Disney, because if they want to escalate it, historically they've had so much money, they will just beat you down with.
Mm-hmm. And she didn't give up.
No.
And she did basically, settle and beat them.
Yeah, they destroyed her life in the process.
The SEC was called in then. And then it just went away. Like, the SEC didn't even really say what happened. They just yes, the SEC is called in, now the SEC is out. And then that was the end of the discussion.
Yeah, so I have to wonder if there isn't some stuff going on in the background that we're not privy to.
I'm sure there's lots of stuff going on in the background.
People. Well, yeah, because they want to make sure they've got this public face that looks good for shareholders. But let's be honest, their stock is tanking. Their movies aren't doing very well at the box office. The reports are that theme park attendance is down.
Well, or Universal is coming for their lunch.
Universal's coming for their lunch on every front, and then they got to pay Comcast.
Yes.
Speaking of Universal, they got to pay them however many billions of dollars to buy the rest of Hulu. They're stuck with that tab because Iger went on a spending spree and he way overspent.
Yeah, and there are rumors that, it's possible different parts of the company could be sold. Do not believe they're going to sell Star Wars, but there are other things they might. It's very possible.
I still think, this is just speculation on my part. I do not have any inside knowledge. I think it makes sense, especially with Elemental looking to not do so hot, no pun intended, that they would just merge Walt Disney Studios Animation and Pixar together and have one animation division.
She wanted, apparently, to go back to the Wall Street Journal article, and you can scroll down here some. It talks about it. So they said that if a person coming over the situation said that there have been no dramatic changes in her life that require her to step back. Okay. She's clashed with Disney executive Bob Iger and other top executives over strategy, including the amount of money Disney spends on content, and recent restructuring she didn't feel went far enough to streamline the company. So she didn't think they made enough cuts. And apparently, she wasn't afraid to challenge them, and she thought that the entertainment branch, the new segment, because they restructured recently, needed to be cut further. And they needed a leaner structure, more akin to Netflix. And it put her at odds with the unit's leadership. Yeah, of course, the entertainment unit, people are going to be pissed when she says we have to cut more from your unit. So they were running to Bob and all this other stuff.
Well, okay, so this is interesting too, because they bring up the fact that the rumor is she was behind the ousting of Bob Chapek. So McCarthy was unafraid to challenge her bosses if she felt a bad move was being made. People who know her said a familiar figure to Wall Street. McCarthy delivered financial results for Disney.
Yeah, she always did on the financial calls.
And they think that she was behind, again, the ousting of Bob Chapek.
I think it was several executives, but she's the one that was credited the most.
And the thing is if you're in charge of a company and your major domo has a history of stabbing her boss in the back, are you going to keep her around?
Yeah, but maybe she had grounds, though. Of course you're not going to keep her, but I'm just saying.
I am just saying, because it's like, hey, that's cool. You got rid of the last guy. How long until you do that to me?
Right.
That's what I would be thinking.
So we don't know if it's legitimately because of medical reasons, but there has been a lot of weirdness around the House of Mouse as of late. And, she's pushing back against Bob Iger. And with her gone, she was also, they think, responsible for getting Peter Rice ousted and that Dana Waldron put in, who's one of supposedly the potential replacements for Iger. But now she's gone. They have to replace her. It gives them... Iger's replacement's going to take longer.
Right. So if we're playing Disney's Game of Thrones here, if she was the top contender to take Bob Iger's job.
She wasn't. She's too old.
Iger's in.
She might have been one. She's one of the contenders listed, but she was, I don't know if she was the top one.
But, you get rid of your competition, and then one way or another, you find out either you're never going to be CEO, because that happened with Tom Staggs and Kevin Mayer.
Yeah,
They both wanted to be,
and
they
now
left.
they're out there doing competition.
Yeah. Or, if you're Bob Iger and you're like, yeah, I'm not leaving, and she's the closest thing to a replacement, let's get rid of her so I can stay longer, make a case for me staying longer. Because we point out in many videos, he is not making any effort to find a replacement.
There was a lot of people listed in March, but I haven't seen these listings of potential replacements, that often. And he never brings it up. He's been there. It'll be the middle of this month. It'll be 7 months he's been back. He's supposed to be back for 2 years. So we're a quarter of the way through his return. He's supposed to use like a year of that to train a replacement, or at least a half a year. So where's the replacement?
Yeah. So that is leading to speculation that Bob Iger does not intend to step down when he was supposed to step down, and now he has an excuse. There's no successor. We have to retrain a new CFO. The company is in disarray right now.
We can't have both top executives out.
Yeah, we're headed into a world war. I need a third term. I can't give up. I can't leave now. Disney is in such disarray.
But I didn't do it for that reason. She had to step down for medical reasons.
For medical reasons.
Well, this is what they do. Often they force executives out. It's either you quit on your own, or we're going to announce that we fired you. But we'll let you save face and say that you resigned, and let you use an excuse that you resigned, so that you walk out as if it's your choice.
Yeah.
They do this all the time. We've done other videos talking about executives that happened to.
Yeah. So,
except for Peter Rice, who they just flat out said, yeah, we fired him.
Yeah. So there's definitely something going on. There's a much bigger story here. And I know a lot of people are speculating that they're going to, have a fire sale. A lot of people are speculating there's something to do with FTX or something. I haven't been following any of that. I do believe that Disney's been cooking the books for a long time, and it would fall on her if they start digging into it. And it could be that the Florida situation is going to open up some of the books, and they're going to start taking a look at things a lot closer, and they're like, oh, shit, or it could just be that she's sick and her husband's sick. I mean, it could go either way, but usually, like you said, there's usually a cover when somebody gets gone. Somebody said one of the executives from Enron used medical leave as a reason to jump ship before.
But in her case, it legitimately could be possible. I mean, I want to make that clear.
Yeah.
It's very possible, because she did have 2 bouts of cancer herself. Her husband was put allegedly in a long-term care facility at the beginning of this year. It came up with Bob Chapek before, too, that he was cutting her out of meetings because she was worried about her ailing husband, which who the fuck wouldn't?
Yeah.
Because who wouldn't be worried about their spouse? There's a lot of a case there to be made that it is legitimately medical reasons. Maybe she just got tired of the crap. She could have just been like, you know what? Go down. You're not listening to me. I saved your butts during the pandemic, because she's credited with saving Disney during the pandemic. She's the one that found the loans and everything else and saved their rear. They credited her with saving the company when they gave her an extension in 2021. She might just be like, I'm not bailing your asses out anymore.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'd be like that too. It's like, yeah, this is the thanks I get.
Yeah, you're not listening to me. I'm telling you. I watch the financials. I'm telling you, you're not cutting enough, and we're not going to be able to withstand this. Bob Iger's back, and he's, I know more than you. And she could be like, you weren't here. I saved the company, and now you're not listening to me, and it's fine. Yeah. See what happens. It could be that. We don't know. It could be they got rid of her because he wants to stall out his time as CEO. There's a number of reasons it could be. But right now, the only one they're saying is because of medical reasons. Yeah.
So let's talk about what Bob Iger is reportedly saying about it. He's being nicey nice.
Of course, they're not going to say, yeah, we chased her ass off, Yeah,
Christine McCarthy is one of the most admired financial execs in America, and her impact on the Walt Disney Company during 23 years of dedicated service cannot be overstated. Thanks for getting rid of Bob Chapek, by the way. Christine has served as a key strategic anchor during a period of great transformation. Is that what we're calling it?
I guess the great transformation.
The great transformation of Mickey.
There's been how many transformations that they transformed from 2020? They transformed again this year. How many great transformations are there?
WDW News Today has a story where they're quoting Seeking Alpha, and they said that this guy here, Alan Gould from Loop Capital, said that he thinks they could use this as a reason to keep him on.
I think that's exactly what he's hoping for.
Yeah, they said that the Walt Disney Company, and now for all those Disney stands out there, they're like, Disney's never been better.
Oh, no, you're wrong.
He said,
you're so wrong.
He said Disney is in one of the most disruptive periods of its entire history. He said, given this unexpected change, we speculate whether the board might even ask Iger to remain CEO for an additional year. I think that's very, very likely because, again, and was this talked about beforehand? Because there is no visible search for a replacement. There's been
lists of potential candidates that a lot of times it's the media putting together.
Yeah.
But Disney themselves haven't said, they've said, oh yeah, we have candidates when they've been questioned by like Nelson Peltz and stuff, but they never actually presented these candidates, or they haven't actually, we got it narrowed down to 3 or what, nothing. It's just been, that was like last we've heard a lot about it was March.
So then, that brings us to what is going to happen next. It just seems like the snowball keeps rolling downhill, doesn't it, with Disney? Mm-hmm. And, having their CFO jump ship like this, again, regardless of the reason, the optics are not going to be good. I think shareholders are going to get nervous. We're going to see the box office return for Elemental this weekend. I don't think it's going to be good.
No.
I think we're going to start hearing that the theme park attendance isn't where they're hoping it was.
The Marvels isn't going to be a big blockbuster hit unless they try to do another Captain Marvel and make it look like it is.
They just pushed their movies back, their major movies back a year, and part of it's a writer's strike. Part of it's just like, what are you doing? Avatar. Even Scott Mendelson's like, why would you push Avatar back when that's money in the bank?
Right.
And it's done. It's filmed.
Yeah, that one they filmed back to back with 3.
Yeah, so
or 2 and 3 filmed back to back. I always get them confused because
it's like Back to the
Future. It was so long the first one that I keep forgetting that there wasn't 2 movies.
Yeah, it's like how many Avatars are? You could take Avatar 2 and turn it into like a Netflix series. You would have like 8 seasons of a Netflix series.
The rumor is that they're taking the making of from the third film, and they're going to turn it into a Disney Plus show to get more content.
Of course they are. And then they'll just dump it like they did all the other behind the scenes.
And there's hours and hours and hours of extra finished stuff they didn't put in the film. So they cut a bunch out.
God, I haven't even watched the second one yet. I'm thinking about it. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up because this video is about as long as an Avatar movie at this point. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.